What style of yoga do you teach?
I teach an eclectic blend of yoga styles. I'd say the two that really come to mind that I navigate most in class is teaching a flow, but a slow flow with alignment, and drawing inspiration from either nature or from something I've read and pulling that into class, philosophy, making it real, making it applicable so that it's something that's not just in a yoga philosophy book, but something you could actually apply to what is going on in your daily life. And then of course yin, restorative, in the other style, and I find they complement each other beautifully. And I have found with students it's just a nice break to be able to sit in a yin pose for a long period of time and be quiet with your thoughts and feel at the end of it relaxed, rejuvenated, a little more calm. I wasn't always a yoga teacher. I worked for a Wall Street firm back in the 80s, and somewhere in there was when I started to do yoga and decided to take a teacher training. I found such a sense of peace and calm that I felt it was something I wanted to learn how to share with others. I used to always be mostly vinyasa based. I liked that because it reminded me to some degree of how I felt when I was working in Wall Street, in that my mind would get very, very busy. And vinyasa classes were the one place where I could really relax out of my own thinking, because you're just focusing on the breath and literally going one movement to the next with your breath. I've also been drawn to the mechanics of how a posture can feel. That would be the alignment based, and not just how it should look or feel, but how it actually feels in my body. So what I'm coming to, like, okay, I can take this pose and this is the rough shape of it, but my anatomy allows me to do it this way, and that's what feels comfortable. And subtle body, I love just diving into that. I don't know that I would ever exhaust that exploration. I think there's just so much to learn about what's going on underneath every posture. You know, in life there's ups and downs. No matter what you're doing in your life, there are times that things don't go quite the way you'd like them to go. And having something to rely on that I could take with me anywhere, like you get some bad news about something, just being able to come into your breath. Being able to breathe through that moment where you have that initial, like, okay, I could react and go this way, or I could take a moment, breathe, and then see what needs to be done in that situation. If you've never taken a yoga class before, I would say, do it. Ask your friends, where do they go? And ask someone who likes to do some things that you like to do, because there's so many different styles. So ask around someone that maybe has your tastes in terms of working out, because then you'll find what resonates with you, what works with you. Try different styles of yoga. Maybe go to 1 or 2 different studios, or if you're online, try a couple of different classes, a couple of different teachers, and start that way. When I'm off the mat, I enjoy going to the beach. Being at the ocean is just super cleansing and lovely, and I just like the sound of the ocean. I enjoy taking our dog for a walk around the block. I enjoy browsing in New York City. People watching in New York City is super fun as well. I enjoy going to breakfast with my husband. We'd go to this particular restaurant and order pancakes, but they're gluten-free, but they have like a ridiculous amount of butter on them and all kinds of syrups. So that's really fun. I do nothing other than yoga. Really? That's the truth. I try to take my yoga practice off the mat in that I try not to be as reactive as I might have once been. It works most of the time, but that's why it's a practice. If there's one message that yoga has really imparted for me, is to trust myself. I see it happening with students again and again. There's this awakening to what's actually going on inside, and there's less looking outside ourselves for gratification or for something that might be like validation of who we are. We start to understand that that comes from deep within. And to me, that's one of the greatest gifts that this practice has given me. And that's one of the ones I also really like to share with others.